Hello once again, this is Jonathan Moore with the Hometown Historian. I am up here in Jim Thorpe. It's a beautiful, beautiful town. It's called the Switzerland of the United States, also the gateway to the Poconos, which is a mountainous area up in Pennsylvania, northeast Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful town. They have a railway right behind, which I'll put over here. You can see the diesel engine. And they take down through the Lehigh Valley Gorge. They take the railway, and it's a really neat town. It used to be called Mock Chunk, which is, I believe, it's Native American. It's the I'm trying to think what the name of the tribe is, but I'll come up with it. It eludes me right now, but it means place of the bear, because at one point the mountain that is behind me, the I think it's Lapine, or I forget, I'll have to look it up again, but they saw it looked like a sleeping bear, and because of all the mining that was done in the region, the mountainside didn't retain its original shape. But all kinds of really cool architecture. We're going to take you through, do a Walking the Main series with me and Ralph. You'll see Ralph here shortly. We had to pay for parking here, and then he had to go back down to the Ralph Mobile, and he had to put the parking ticket on there so we don't get fined. But right next to us over here is the Lehigh River. Beautiful town. It's called Jim Thorpe. It's actually named after a Native American athlete. His name was Jim Thorpe. He was Native American. Extraordinary guy, a lot of history. So at some point I want to do a video as well today on Jim Thorpe. They have a memorial there where he's buried. Also we'll do a video on the Lehigh Valley Gorge Railroad Tunnel. It's an abandoned tunnel. That'll be a short video. And then Ralph wants to go. He really is likes butterflies. He does a lot of stuff. He has milkweed at his house for the monarch butterflies that come through, and there's a butterfly sanctuary about 5 miles north of here as well. But really cool town. It's a great destination. A lot of cool shops. We're actually going to go eat just quick because it's right around 11 a.m. here on a Monday. I believe it's September 13th. So Ralph is coming up here. We'll get a view of him, and he'll say hi. And we're going to be doing these adventures every couple of Mondays or so, and go to different really cool historical places. So with that, I will say hi or bye. I'm confused right now. Need to get some food in me, but so this is Jim Thorpe, and we're going to go through here and we're going to have a good time. So see everybody. And there he is, folks. It is Ralph Watts, the infamous Ralph Watts, who has once again taken me to an awesome place.
Yes, here we are. We are in. We'll wait till they walk through.
Yeah.
We are here in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, man. And we were just in this shop called Treasure Shop. And the lady inside there, first of all, is a fantastic person. Okay?
Yeah, it's a really cool shop.
Reminded us that because of this town, we would not have had the Industrial Revolution because of the introduction of coal here in America. A lot of it started in this area.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
and the
so
Union.
This is a very important town. People don't realize how important Pennsylvania, Keystone, right?
Yeah.
But how important like this town here. And isn't it, when you look at the street, isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, it's just beautiful. This is like how the old towns used to be. Now this one's unique because it's right in between the two mountain ridges, but it's also like the Union would not have won the Civil War without the coal that came from these regions.
Exactly.
And Asa Packer, who is one of the major people in this town, he was behind the Lehigh Railroad, and also he founded Lehigh University. Without him, he was one of the major people behind the Industrial Revolution. So this town has such a historical importance.
Turn around
It's
so you
just
can see the other thing
such a
here, too.
beautiful thing. And you can look right down through town. It was close, but I'm still alive. Ralph almost pushed me out there, but just really cool. There's a cool toy shop over here. I think it's called Mulligan's. Yeah. We just ate, was it Molly McGuire's?
Molly McGuire's, which is a big thing here in our area.
Yeah, because that's a whole history thing too. There were people that were trying to start a union with the coal working, and the people were against that, and then eventually there was a murder committed and a lot of guys got railroaded, so it was a really sad situation, which a bunch of them were held up the street here at the jail. And but yeah, there's just so many cool shops here. It's just, this is, if you get a chance to ever go to this place, it's like, it's considered one of the 10 most beautiful towns in the United States. They also talk about it being the Switzerland of the United States, and it's the pathway, or the gateway I should say, to the Poconos.
So picture that sign up close. You guys see that? Jim Thorpe. Look at that.
There's a Jim Thorpe sign, and you just look at the architecture in these buildings. She was talking about how her dad was the first one that painted one of these buildings, like, because a lot of these are Victorian, and they're earlier as well, but like the architecture, a lot of it is Victorian. It's just beautiful, beautiful town. Like the paint, the colors, just got that Victorian colors. Gorgeous town. So with that, I'm going to stop right here.
Let's take a walk.
And Ralph is also gorgeous.
I am gorgeous today. I combed my hair.
There you go.
There you go.
I have very short hair as well, so
There you go.
so okay. Well, we're going to get going through town here, and we'll be filming some more just to show you some of the unique houses and features. Thanks, everybody. Now the bell from the tower down there is playing. It's really beautiful. This is the Dimmick Memorial Library. This is a really cool building. I think this used to be a church. If I, or it was actually, I think it was the mansion of the gentleman, last name of Dimmick, if I remember from the history. But this is just a really cool place.
Can I mention something real quick?
Yep.
I want you to go ahead and point over there above the doorway, and it says pro bono, which means that they are very into Sonny and Cher in this town. It's a pro bono town.
Yeah,
so
they
make sure you
really.
get that.
Let me get this in a little closer so you can see that above.
Pro bono.
Pro bono.
Sonny and Cher.
Yeah. Hopefully there's no skiing involved. There's also above the windows there's like a bunch of like the Greek lettering, Roman lettering. So still just doing a little more filming here. Some really neat architecture. We're just in, there's a bookstore right here. I highly recommend that you stop by. It's really just a neat place. Ralph's escaping me. Sorry about that. These aren't for children, by the way. So.
That's great. You can't make that stuff up.
No, it's like, okay. Well, anyways, he didn't know that I was doing this, so.
He wouldn't have cared.
No, I don't think he would have cared either, but.
Go in here?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, so this is another, is it called the Douglas House?
This right here is like loads of different businesses. It's like a co-op.
Yeah, and the cool thing is they all support each other. I'm gonna quick get out of the way of this young lady, but just so neat to be able to come into places like this and just see, like, no matter what you enjoy, there's something here for everybody.
Yes.
So we were just at that second sign there, Trend and Source. Really cool store. Not everybody has the same sense of humor as Ralph and I, but some of the towels that they have and the coasters are great. Like the one coaster's like, either use a coaster or I'll punch you in the throat. It's hilarious. I mean, it's not nice, but it's hilarious. But yeah, here's where the road sort of turns, and this is where the Mock Chunk Opera Theater is. They have a lot of live music festivals. I think they just had a live film festival for like a local documentary.
So sing a song.
And Ralph is singing for you.
Because I'm going to be in the opera soon.
This is a free, I'm going to put it back there so nobody gets too scared.
Oh my gosh. Sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole. Can't do it.
Now you got to do that. Mana.
There you go.
But then they have, there's a church next. I think that's an art gallery, if I remember correctly. And then right over here is Race Street, which we're going to go there at some point. Because
we're going there next, actually.
We'll go there next. And there's some really cool restaurants. Yeah, Ralph's going to win that race. I keep on moving aside for people because I feel bad because I'm moving. I have my cane today. I'm doing all right. There's the Dimmick House. That guy there, well, we go on the other side of the street. He was actually, I think, a U.S. representative, and that's what that library is named after.
Yeah, you're right.
He donated that, so. But yeah, it's just really cool shops. The architecture is extraordinary. It's just to see the architecture and walk up these streets up and down is worth it.
There's the house for sale. If we have to buy a house here.
You're gonna pay a lot. Oh yeah, for this area, and being that it's on the main stretch. So, but yeah, so here's one that's cool if you're a hippie. I think they have like old music, like records and whatnot. Nice little VW mailbox. This is when Cliff and I were up here last around, a little bit before Halloween. The one guy here right over there had this huge Halloween display. Really awesome.
Yeah.
It's like all these skeletons like dancing on things and
wow.
impaled and all kinds of stuff.
Cool.
Do you want to go in there?
I want to go in here.
All right, so we're going to go in here just quick to Horizons. Hey, this is John again, hometown historian. I am in here in a store called Horizons, and this is the owner, Shelly. So what do you all sell here?
Everything and anything. Tie-dyes, tapestries, incense, stickers, patches, flags, candles.
You should go pan around and see some of the stuff that she has up there. Wow.
Grateful Dead stuff, man.
Grateful Dead stuff.
Yeah, it's
And
a
she just told me
really
she's been in business for 25 years.
25 years.
Holy crap. That's a long time to avoid a real job. You know what I mean?
Long, strange trip it's been, man.
I
The
know.
best way to do it.
I know.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Wouldn't want it anywhere else. you
No,
know?
no, not at all. I understand. I've been in business, self-employed for
We've been
30 years.
painted the whole store myself.
Uh-huh.
Every little line detail mural you see is painted by me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I put my heart and soul into this shop, man.
Yes.
So when you come up here to Jim Thorpe, come visit Horizons and Shelly.
Okay, what are your hours?
I'm open every day, 11 to 5.
11 to 5.
Cool.
What's your address here?
105 Race Street.
105.
Yeah, so it's like when you come up, you'll see the theater on the right.
Right
You go
across
up
the
Race
street from
Street
the
right
Monsoon
across there, and
Opera
it's
House.
Yeah.
Yep.
very. We filmed the beginning here. That's the
Can't
front of the
miss
place.
it.
You
Look
can't
for the
miss
big
it.
Hippie flower bench.
There you go.
And it's got a cool VW mailbox as
That's
well.
right. That's what we stopped. Yeah, I had to
Oh,
take a picture of
cool.
that first. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah, you
Did
gotta-
get it made for you special?
I had it actually. I think I got it on Etsy.
Did you? Okay, well, cool. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, you get a chance, everybody, come up to Jim Thorpe, come visit Shelly.
Thank you.
Horizons. This is a great store. All right, thanks everybody. All right, so we're a little further down Race Street now, and we're coming up on St. Mark's, and I believe it's St. John's Episcopal Church. There's also some really cool stone houses here. I believe they were here for.
Look down here. Isn't that cool looking?
It is pretty neat.
That is pretty cool.
They really like just the way the town's laid out. Is just the mountainside's so close to the backs of some of these houses. It's just nuts how they
And look
fit
at the
all this
paint
in.
job they have on this stone, man. That's
Yeah,
very
like
classy.
the colors and stuff like that, like very Victorian and stuff like that. They just have a really neat look, and it's got the town's got like sort of a calming influence because of those colors and just the way the architecture is laid out.
Yep.
It's pretty neat.
It is.
I always love these on the houses where the
They are.
area that sticks out,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
little
yeah.
towers and
That's
stuff.
called, right?
Yeah. But they had some of these stone houses along here, I think were actually built for, I don't know if it was the coal miners or somebody that was like the foremans of.
really?
Yeah, they actually had built. I'm not sure if it was Asa Packer that built them for him, but I think that's what it was. And it's sort of cool here. Once again, you get to see people that are cleaning things up, and that's where they keep this place so
that wall right
pristine. You know, see that you can, and you can see. Do you see the stone building back there, Ralph?
Yeah, up there on the hilltop.
Yeah, that's how close everything is, like right up against the hillside. It's just really neat. And that in the distance there is the St. Mark's and St. John's Episcopal Church. Make sure I don't step in the water. But they have some like cool little, call it Stone Row. They have little shops, homes in here, but they also have a cool pub and eatery that I heard is pretty good. Right there, Stone Row. But just look at the colors of the doors and stuff like that. It's just really just beautiful. And just how well preserved everything is in this area. It's actually, that's one thing I failed to mention. This is actually a historic district on the National Registry of Historic Places. It's sort of like Annville has a whole area that's all considered a historic district, and it's the whole district is actually on the National Registry of Historic Places. This is the same exact way. This church was actually, the money was donated by Asa Packer's widow to build this, and it actually has some really cool stained glass from Tiffany's that's in there. It's a Gothic revival style, so it's a very unique look to the church, and it's just nothing's like level, if you will. It sort of goes down on levels over, and it's just really neat. And I guess this Times House was actually for the paper, but just really cool, neat stuff. Do you want to go in there?
Not today.
Not today.
There before, it's very cool.
there's some different little cool shops here. Like there's so much to visit on the side streets and everything. And there you can get a cool look.
Back here. Step over here so you can get by that car. Take a picture over there of the.
See up there, that house up on the hill, that is Asa Packer's mansion. It's actually a museum now. Let me focus in here a little bit. And there's a house next to it, which is his son Harry Packer's mansion, which that house is actually the template for the Walt Disney World's haunted mansion. And like I said, Asa Packer's is a museum. It's open on Saturdays and Sundays, I believe 11 to 5. And Harry Packer's is a bed and breakfast, which is a really pretty place. People that have stayed there said it's a really gorgeous place to stay. But just look at the stonework. Like, these homes are so,
it's cool.
you know, have so much
Yeah,
age.
that's the whole thing. That's cool.
But
Yeah.
and then the Times house here, it's a really cool brick house. And like I said, this is on Race Street. It's right off of Main Street, but you can't miss it. It's a cool street. If you're going to hit certain side streets, this is one you want to definitely hit. But this church here, there's actually a plaque or a sign when it not get hit by a car here. And thank God I have Ralph here to say, hey, by the way, John, don't get hit. There's a cool house here too, the Tolman house. And it's neat because they have a lot of like different plaques and stuff to tell you what the homes are. And then they have like walking tours in the different stores. They'll have things there that tell you what the houses are and ages and the history and that type of stuff. But it's just really, you might go back on the street. Hopefully I don't get hit.
You're a streetwalker.
I am a streetwalker.
Yes.
Not those types though, but you just see like the architecture. It's just a very unique church. And I believe over this one, the doorway there is where it talks about Asa Parker's widow, which the doors are open. So it'd be cool if the place was actually open and we could go in. I don't know whether that's the case or not. But right above the door there, it says about the history of this.
Only if you're doing yoga. I don't think we're doing
So we're not doing yoga. In memory of Asa Packer, erected, it looks like 1881 by his wife Sarah Packer. So that's pretty cool. But you have a tower here that's really quite a unique feature, how it just goes up and up and up. And it's just impressive. But so that's Race Street. I'm going to take a couple pictures. There's where it goes back down to the railroad station.
Step over here, take pictures of these right here, and that right here because it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really, really neat.
Look
There.
how brilliant that paint makes it pop.
Yeah, so cool. So here we are again. We're heading up through here. We're gonna hit this last area, and then that'll be it for the walking to Maine. I like that, the Dolan house they have above the door there.
Oh yeah.
Pretty neat.
That's it right there.
All these people were probably like merchants of some sort, major figures of the county and the community. But yeah, he's definitely, you get a chance. This is definitely a place to come up and just enjoy. Like all the architecture, just the cool buildings. Nice. I think this used to be a church, but I think it's like an art. Hey, an art house, art gallery. Yep. Yeah. They say that she has a lot of really, really cool displays that she'll have of local artists. And this is actually the Union House, is a restaurant. It's supposed to be Union Hose, company number 1. That's supposed to be a really good restaurant as well. This is the First Presbyterian Church. It's an impressive structure. I've got to quick change hands here, just quick. It's a neat drive too. Like at the very least, you know, you want to walk it if you can, but like if you can do like a drive, you can get to see a lot of this. Now the architecture only goes so far up, and then it just sort of stops. Like this is the lower part of town is the part that's like really, really impressive. The rest of it's really nice as well up through here, but it is definitely. I'll quick pick my cane up because getting in my way. Brought the cane along today because I wasn't sure how I was going to handle all the walking because my back was out the last couple days. But yeah, it's just cool walking up through these old towns and seeing all the history. There's a really cool place here. I believe this is the Mauch Chunk Museum. I don't think I mentioned earlier in the video. This was originally called Mauch Chunk, which is a Native American name for place of the bear, because before all the mining was done, this used to be an old church as well, but before it was built in 1843, rebuilt 1873, but the mountainside used to look like it was a sleeping bear, and there's Jim Thorpe on there, is what the town is named after him. It was in 1954 that they renamed the town to Jim Thorpe. Yeah, it's a really, really cool place. Definitely worth visiting. I don't know if we're going to go any further up.
Okay.
Because I am getting tired.
Okay. Because the only thing that's major up there would be the jail.
Yeah, the jail. There's a jail up there where they had for the Molly Maguires,
Right.
where they held them and that. And then there's also just other cool buildings. Like I think this one used to be the schoolhouse that they made into apartments now. But this is a cool place to also check out at some time. But I think for now, we are going to be done because I'm getting to the point where I'm pretty beat.
Okay, gotcha.
This has been Walking to Maine with John Miller and with Ralph Watts.
Hey, Ralph Watts. My gosh.
So cool. With that, we're going to sign off, and we will see you next time on our next adventure.
See ya.
See you all about town. Hi, everybody. So that is going to be the end of the Jim Thorpe Walking to Maine. I am going to come back here at another point because there's a few different things I want to hit. I want to get the railway. It's right back there. I also want to go to the Mauch Chunk Museum and maybe go up to the jail. I just, with my back going out the other day and my neck pinched its nerve, it's just making walking a little bit harder. So this isn't going to be as long a video as I originally intended. And I'm not going to go over and do the Jim Thorpe Memorial today or the tunnel, just because I don't think I can handle it today. Ralph and I are both a little tired, so we got most of the town, a bunch of really cool shops. I'm going to put those up for you guys. It's definitely a really, really neat place to come and visit. You know, the architecture is nuts. It's just a beautiful, quaint town. If you want to see everything, a number of shop owners said, if you want to see everything, not all the shops will necessarily be open or all the restaurants, but to actually be able to just walk right into a restaurant. Like we went to Molly Maguire's across the street. Amazing burger, well worth the money. Come during the weekdays, Monday through probably Thursday is the best, because then you can walk the street and you're not feeling crowded and all that. You can get in most of the shops. Really great place to come and visit. Like I said before, a lot of people call it the Switzerland of the United States, and it's the gateway to the Poconos, which is a beautiful, beautiful region. So I am going to get going here in a sec because Ralph is going to be here with the vehicle here in a second. Sorry for the ultra close up there, but this is the Hometown Historian. I'm signing off, and we will see you on our next adventure about town. Thanks, everybody. Hey, so I wanted to do a quick finish up, just explain a few things on the video, but then also talk about some of these stores. Originally, this was going to be a Walking to Maine, but with just some of the issues I was having with my back going out, my neck pinched a nerve, I was having a lot of trouble walking, and it was just easier just to do a shorter route. So I am going to go back to Jim Thorpe. I'm going to give you the whole Main Street, plus I want to go over on Race Street, which we did do, where the Horizon store is, that leads over to St. Mark's Episcopal Church. I also want to go up on top where Asa Packer and Harry Packer's mansions are, because it's just really, really neat to see those up close. And then you also get a little bit of an overview of the town. They call it the Hill up there. It's a pretty neat area. So some of the stores that we got to go into, Ralph had actually done a video at Sellers Books, which is owned by Randall Sellers. Really, really cool guy. Gave us a cool time there. Talked about his books. His really neat bookstore. And Ralph had done a video and had it up on his page for Comics and Paperbacks Plus. We also went to a place called the Treasure Shop. It's actually in the first main stretch of the street on the right. It's got a really cool painting job. It's like a Victorian paint colors. And I guess her dad bought it back in the 80s and was the first one to actually paint one of those buildings and restore it back to like the Victorian era. And then everybody was sort of looking at it and was like, wow, that's pretty neat. So they started painting, and that's what got all the buildings back to what they look like now and what it would have looked like in its heyday. Really beautiful, beautiful town. Well, they call it the Switzerland of America. It definitely is that. It's a pretty neat place. But that building there is called the Treasure Shop. Online, she calls it Peggy's Treasure Shop. She gave us a bunch of different history of the area. I got a couple books there. I also got a number of books at Randall's, at Sellers Books. She was just awesome at the Treasure Shop, so I highly recommend stopping there. I think right next door is a really cool, like the old school toys. That's a neat place. There's a jerky shop there, a number of restaurants. We actually went to the one, I guess it used to be the American Hotel, and they happened to be closed, and she told us about a couple places. And then we went over to, I believe it's Molly McGuire's. Great food, great service, really cool atmosphere. I highly recommend the Molly McGuire's burger. Great, really, really good, reasonably priced as well. So then we went down the street a little bit further. We went into right after that guy was like swearing and freaking out. Is like called the Douglas House. Number of shops in there, and we had stopped at one. It was a guy had actually just talked to us. Great employee. Wasn't actually the owner of the company. It's Stonekeep, and it's sort of like a tasting room for their wines, and they're especially apparently very good with meads. I don't drink it all, but if you do enjoy that, stop by there. It's a really cool shop. And there's another one back a little further, which we didn't get to talk to her. I think it was either the Bee Sting or the Bee Stung. Really neat for like really cool arts and crafts, like really neat things that she does that are just really nice. And then the lady upstairs, the one that was open, she has all kinds of candles. There's a manly scent there for you dudes out there. It's called Steam Locomotive. Very cool. For some of my friends are really into pumpkin, tons of pumpkin stuff. Really cool building, a lot of cool little shops, sort of like a collective of different shops. A little further down, we talked with Jen, who was the owner and proprietor of Trend and Source. Really neat store. I talked about a little bit. I said you have to have a little off-color humor. Some of the towels that they have in there and the coasters are hilarious. But she got the idea. She actually started the business in the middle of COVID, because a lot of these brick and mortar stores really had to be inventive with coming up with new ways to do business. And she, a lot of her friends, runs a number of other businesses too. She's a very busy lady. But a number of her friends that used to do the arts and crafts scene, the shows, all that was shut down and had nowhere to sell their wares. Well, she was like, well, why can't I should open a store that gives these people the opportunity? So a lot of it's consignment, but she does buy other kinds of stuff, but like really, really neat artwork, all kinds of really neat things in there. So it's a cool shop to stop by. Awesome lady, really knows her stuff. You know, kudos, Trend and Source, you gotta check that out. And the last store that we checked out is called Horizons. She's has sort of the Grateful Dead theme. Her name's Shelly. Really awesome lady. That interview is actually on this video that you'll see. Cool lady. They sell all kinds of stuff. Grateful Dead. I say about it like it's a great place. If you're a hippie, you'll love that place. Like very colorful, very very cool place. You'll really really enjoy it. She's really nice lady, and she's been there for 25 years. She's doing something right. Cool store, really cool store. And it's just like all throughout that whole, those were the stores that we stopped by and we talked to the owners, but so many neat places to stop there. And it's cool how they all support each other and they all sort of have their own niche, if you will. And so it's like no store is going to be exactly the same as another. So it's just a cool place to visit, cool stores to visit and shop at. and it's quite the experience. So, with that, I will let it go and say bye for now, and we will see you about town. Thanks, everybody.